I'm going to show you how to really just get started with a website. Now, with this, we're not going to really be doing too much code right from the start. Just simply want to get you started with the beginnings of where to start. Now, in this process, we've already created a PSD design. The PSD design is based off the Dell Fox theme on ThemeForest. I really like it. It's very easy to use. It has a lot of features. And it's great for the project that we're demoing right now. So the first thing really is to set up your working environment. And I have a working environment, and I originally used MAMP, and the next version of, and then I set it up on my own. But if you really need to work on this, software called MAMP, or if you just research MAMP, go to mamp.info. This kind of thing sets up a local environment in your server or on your computer. So it acts like a PHP server, and it works pretty well. If not, if this is complicated, you can always just work with a web host using like cPanel or something like that. So now let's get started. The first thing we're going to have to do is we have to create a directory in your localhost. And I already have this open inside of MAMP. Now to get into where MAMP stores its files, you're going to go into your hard drive. You go into your applications, find MAMP, and then find your htdocs folder. And I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to call this Getting Started. And we're going to open up this. Now we have a blank directory. And I'm going to create my first file called index.html. Typically that's your default file that's going to be working. A lot of times if you want to do a PHP file, you can do index.php and it'll work the same. Now we're just going to do a quick hello world. And we're going to actually go to this directory, Getting Started. You can see now it says hello world. If I want to change this, I go test. It goes in test. Now, this is just simply a little text document, and really we're far away from creating everything. Now, if you're doing this all completely from scratch, you would make like a doc type at the top. You would then do your head tag, your body tag, HTML tag, a bunch of like stuff that you don't really care about. And at the end of the day, you just want it to work. So what I like to do is I like to use HTML5 boilerplate. You just go to html5boilerplate.com and I download this. Now we can just open this and give it a second. And I'm going to open up this folder. And what this gives you is, if I just do a little preview, it says this is like our preview or whatever. We can actually just copy all of these straight into here. And we can just overwrite the current index.html file. And that's okay. Cool. You can see our index.html file did change to what they recommend. We can save this. And just to make sure it saves, we don't need this anymore, or this. I'll refresh the page. You can see that now it says the HTML5 boilerplate demo. Let me actually reopen this because it looks ugly. Okay, cool. Now just to kind of go over a quick overview of everything, just so you sort of know how everything works without really knowing the details. Every HTML document should have a doc type at the top. This is part of being XHTML compliant. Then you have your head and you have your body. Your head is stored for stored in uses like I don't know, like what kind of meta information you have, your meta description, your meta title, uh, your style sheets, and sometimes people put different JavaScript. In this case, they really only put Modernizer. Uh, most of the time, most JavaScript is put in the footer, so the very, very bottom of your body tag. And you can see it right here. Now, the reason why you put your CSS at the beginning and your JavaScript at the end is you want your styles to load first before anything else. So you make sure that loads up at the top of your screen. And then you want your JavaScript to load last, since your JavaScript is usually affecting the HTML that you've already written up here, like in your application. Now, to get started, we want to create our application in here. And we're going to write any JavaScript we might have in either main.js or plugins.js. I usually don't use the plugins.js just simply because I don't use many jQuery plugins. I like to do everything from scratch. But it really depends on what your use is. And then for your style sheets, you don't touch normalize.css since it's an open source CSS file. And everything's going to go into your main.css. So we're going to check out that just so you can kind of see how everything works. The nice thing about the HTML5 boilerplate is that they put everything in there that's like kind of a necessary thing to get you started. So you just don't have to worry about the little details. And they have a little section for us called Authors Custom Styles. And in here we can play along with whatever we need. So if you want to like change the background, for example, we can go over here and do like body background red. And the background will be red now. But we're not going to do that yet. But at least we know now where to put our CSS. We have where to put our JS, like if you want to do an alert. And if you want to put any plugins, they have something like this. They have random things in here. They also have a vendor folder in your JS. And your vendor, this is kind of used for like open source files that aren't custom. So for example, let's say you have a custom slider and you're using a library that's open source, you can put that in your vendor folder. And it's a way to organize things. At least this is what HTML5 boilerplate recommends. So that's kind of how to get started. I hope this helps a little bit, and in the next video we'll start actually writing some HTML and playing with it. Talk to you guys soon.